There are a lot of changes coming to the Cars Tour this year. Last year's champion, Brendan Butterbean Queen, has moved on from Lee Pulliam Performance. He will be racing in, I think it's the ARCA series this year for the most part. And then we've also seen that Carson Quaffle has moved on as well from Junior Motorsports, and he will be racing in the Xfinity series with Junior Motorsports moving forward. So two of the top contenders that we've seen kind of compete year in and year out with the Cars Tour over the last 2-3 years are no longer with the Tour. We do have some changes here. So Doug Barnes Jr. announced back in December that he will be running full-time with the Cars Tour with Lee Pulliam Performance. That is the same team that Brendan Butterbean Queen just won the championship with last year. Their first race will be at Florence this upcoming weekend for the Icebreaker. Now, that isn't a Cars Tour race, but that is one that he is going to be racing with Lee Pulliam Performance. We also got a look at what his car is going to look like right there. He shared a teaser here over on X, and then shared a link to his YouTube where we get a kind of a blurry look at the car. If you go over and check out the YouTube video, which I do recommend that you look at, but you can see the car. That's what it looks like there. It looks really slick and clean. It's a white car, not what we're typically used to seeing Doug in. Usually he raced in a black car at Dominion, and then more recently he's been racing in his red Ferrari, a really sharp car, but he's going with the white car with the red kind of accent, and there's some gray and black there, and then obviously with the air Doug on the hood and throughout the car. Looks really clean and sharp. Should pop under the lights there in the white. So that is kind of the latest there on Doug Barnes Jr. He's looking to be have a strong showing this year and has high expectations for himself and for the team. And as we should, he is one of the top late model stock car drivers, I think, in the region, and he's going to one of the top teams. We also got another update here. Lanie Buice, who has been kind of competing at Florence in the late model stock division, I feel like for the last couple years, she is going to be racing with Lee Pulliam Performance as well in the Cars Tour. She wrote this over on X. Surprise, I'm racing with Lee Pulliam in the Cars Tour. So excited to chase Rookie of the Year and a championship. I am beyond grateful for this opportunity. Catch the season opener March 1 at New River All-American Speedway. So some news coming out with the Cars Tour as we're getting closer and closer to the beginning of the season. And as she said, it is there on March 1st. You can see this is on the Cars Tour official website. They will be racing at New River All-American Speedway for the opening race of the season. And then they will go to Wake County on March 29th. So a big gap there between the first race and the second race. And then they go to Cordell, where Dale Jr. will be racing on April 12 for the third race. So those are your first three races for the Cars Tour. It's going to look a little bit different. We're going to have a bunch of different drivers competing. Obviously, Doug Barnes Jr. and Lanie Buice being two of them. And we won't be having two of the top competitors from the last 2-3 years racing. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the Cars Tour this year. I know I will definitely be keeping my eye on it. It is kind of what I grew up on. I grew up going to Old Dominion Speedway, watching the late model stocks, and then I kind of continued that tradition when they opened up Dominion and started going and watching them there, and then obviously discovering the Cars Tour, and have watched that kind of ever since. So looking forward to seeing what the Cars Tour brings. I'm really looking forward to seeing what Doug Barnes Jr. does. I really like how he drives. I think he's really matured, especially over the last couple of years. Even though he didn't race a lot last year, he was still one of the top threats in any race that he went to. I think he was putting up top fives everywhere he went last year, even though he only had a limited number of races. He even qualified at Martinsville and everything, and ran pretty well there for the most part. Even I think he had some damage in a heat race, but was able to recover from that. But let me know what you guys make of Doug Barnes Jr.'s new car, and Lanie Buice announcing that she will be racing with Lee Pulliam Performance for the Cars Tour here in 2025. Let me know in the comments below.